CharmEHR has set up an integration with Bluefin Merchant Services. Transactions recorded in CharmEHR can automatically send payment information to the Bluefin merchant account. In this video, we will go over how to store card details within Bluefin, how to make a payment from an invoice, how to make a payment from credit on account, how to set up recurring payments, how to make a partial refund, how to make a full refund, how to pay an invoice in the PHR, how to pay all invoices in the PHR, how to enable patients to pay before a visit, and how to pay before an encounter. Once a patient's information is stored within Bluefin Merchant Services, you do not need to key in or swipe the card for the patient ever again. First, go to the Patients tab, then click on the patient's name. Second, click on Store Card Info when in the patient dashboard. Third, this is the image that shows up after you click Store Card Info. Fourth, while the terminal is connected to your computer, click on the field next to where it says Card Information. Swipe the card, then click the Store button. Alternatively, if the terminal has not arrived yet, you can click on the Key In tab to manually input the patient's card data. Then click the Store button. Fifth, you will see the following image after you save the card on file. It is now stored on Bluefin's database. If you need to remove the card that is saved on file, you can click on the Patient's Dashboard tab, then click the Delete button. Now I'm going to show you how to make a payment from an invoice. If you're making a payment on the invoice, you should make sure that you mark the transactions of the invoice. First, go to the Billing tab, then go to the Generate Bills tab. Then click on the Action button next to the most recent encounter. Alternatively, if you do not want this created with an encounter, you can click Invoice Without Encounter. The important thing is that you create an invoice. Second, once you're in the invoice, the procedure codes and products recommended for the encounter should populate. You can also add procedures and products to the invoice from here. Third, make sure that you do not mark the money received as a payment. If your patient is paying for all of the services on their debit card, mark the payment as $0. Fourth, after you approve the invoice, click on the Invoices Action button and then click Make Payment. Fifth, if you want to use the terminal to do the transaction, click on the field next to where it says Card Information, then swipe the card on the terminal. If you want to save the card for this patient, check the box next to Store Card Details. Alternatively, if you are not using the terminal, you can key in information by selecting Key In where you see Input Type. Once again, you have the option to store the card details in the payment gateway. Now I'm going to show you how to make a payment for credit on account. First, to add a payment with a Bluefin transaction but not necessarily pay a specific invoice, you should go to the Billing tab. Then go to the Receipts tab. After that, click Add Payment button. Second, click on the payment method and select Payment Gateway to make a payment with Bluefin. Third, fill out the patient's name and payment amount. Then click on the field that says Card Information. Then swipe the card in the Bluefin terminal. If you would like to store the card details, you can then click on the Store Card Details button. Alternatively, if you want to key in the patient's information, change the input type to Key In and then click the Add button. Now we're going to go over how to set up recurring payments. First, go to the Billing tab. Then go to the Recurring Payments tab. Click the Add Recurring Payments button. Second, to swipe the card in the terminal, fill out the information about the payment. Click on the place that says Card Information, then swipe the card. You may check the box next to Store Card Details in Payment Gateway. Alternatively, If you want to key in the information for the card, click Key In. Third, to fully set up recurring payments, click the Recurring Payments checkbox on either the Swipe or Key In tab. After that, you can set the recurring schedule, the number of recurring payments, and the time period. After that information is input, click the Make Payment button. Now I'm going to go over how to make a partial refund. Sometimes a patient needs to be partially refunded because of a discount. They are returning a product or some other reason. Follow these steps to do a partial refund. First, click on the action button associated with the invoice that you want to partially refund. After that, click Edit Invoice. Second, while editing the invoice, you can change what the price of products and procedures. You can also delete products and procedures here. Third, after you remove some of the costs on the invoice, you will see that the balance due is negative. The negative amount should be equal to what you want to refund your patient. Click on the Approve Invoice button. Fourth, in the Invoices section, you should see the negative amount that you will pay the patient. Click on the Receipts tab. Fifth, while in the Receipts tab, find the invoice that you want to refund. Click on the Action button associated with that invoice. Then click Edit and Apply Payment. Sixth, you will see the payment applied is greater than the amount due. Seventh, change the payment applied to equal the amount due in the invoice. It will update and you will see on the bottom that the unused payment is equal to the amount that you want to refund. Click the Update button. Eighth, click on the Action button of the receipt and then click Payment Refund. Ninth, Trom will show you the unused payment in the refund box. You can choose to change how much is given back to the patient if you want. If the amount in the amount box is what you want to refund, click on the Payment Refund button. Now we will go over how to do a full refund. Do the following steps to refund the entirety of an invoice and cancel the invoice. First, go to the Receipt section, find the invoice associated with the encounter. Click on the Action button, and then click Edit and Apply Payment. Second, go to where it says Payment Applied and change the number to 0. Third, now that the payment applied is 0, there will be an unused payment. Click the Update button. Fourth, go to the Receipt section and then click on the receipts with the unused payment that you recently modified. Click on the Action button and then click Payment Refund. Fifth, it will auto-populate the unused payment to the refund section. You can change the amount if needed. If you want to refund the full amount, click the Refund button. This will send the money back to the patient's account. Now I'm going to go over how to pay all of the invoices on the PHR. First, when a patient logs on to Charm EHR, they need to click on the billing box to pay for invoices. Second, they will see a list of all of the invoices. Click Pay All Dues. Third, the amount will be totaled. Then the patient can put their payment information. After that, click the Make Payment button. Now I will go over how to enable patients to pay before a visit. First, patients must be able to schedule appointments online. To do this, select Enable Online Appointments. This can be customized for each individual provider. Second, options for scheduling appointments will appear after Enable Online Appointments is selected. Click Enable Card Processing so that the patient can pay fees before the visit. Third, you can choose to have a fixed charge. This means that the patients pay one amount regardless of the visit type. Fourth, if you wanted to have the patient amount depend on the visit type, change where it says Fixed to Based on Visit. Keep in mind that this only works if you show the visit times to the patient. Fifth, if you want to use the option of charging the patients based on the visit type, you can specify it in Settings, Encounter, Visit Types. Now I will go over how to pay before an encounter. Patients can schedule appointments through the patient portal and pay before the visit. First, the patient clicks on the Appointments button. Next, the patient clicks the Request Appointment button. Third, the provider enables the patient to see the visit times. Then the patient can choose from the available list. Alternatively, here the patient sees the times available for the appointment. The patient can choose a time slot. Fourth, after the patient selects the date for the appointment, they can add the payment amount for the encounter. The payment amount is determined by the provider. If the patient does not put in the payment information and pay the payment amount, the patient can't book the appointment. If the patient selects Charge Card on File, it will use the card stored on Bluefin's database.